This week, after 18 years in office, the SNP conceded that they have no plan, are out of steam and have lost their way. John Swinney announced a bland and unambitious programme for government that does nothing to address the issues that Scotland faces. No plan to fix the NHS crisis created by the SNP. No plan to deal with the falling standards and sorry violence in our schools presided over by the SNP, and no plan to end the scandal of 10,000 homeless children on John Swinney's watch. But when a member of this Parliament raised the issue of homeless children, John Swinney shamefully told them, and I quote, to find something else to moan about. In a damning assessment, Shelter Scotland called John Swinney's plan a programme for homelessness. Does he think they should find something else to moan about?
First Minister.
Trying to set out to Parliament on Tuesday was the fact, and I may have used language that was particularly not worthy of me. So if I've done that and people are concerned about that, then of course I regret if I've used language that's not been appropriate for the way I go about my business. But let me just come back to the facts of all of this. So the facts of all of this is that since 2007, when this government came to office, we've delivered 47% more affordable homes per head of population than in England and 73% more than in Wales. In addition, in last year, we've had more house building completions in Scotland per 10,000 people in Scotland compared to England, Wales and Northern Ireland. And we're also just passed the budget, which Mr Sarwar didn't support, which is investing £768 million in affordable housing investment in Scotland. So we are addressing the homelessness issues that we face in our society. We're taking action to support local authorities in tackling void accommodation. We'll continue to do that, and we'll focus on making sure we address the needs of people in Scotland.
Anna Sarwar.
The fact is that we have 10,000 homeless children, and John Swinney has no plan to deal with it. Now, he said the focus of his programme for government was fixing the NHS that he and his colleagues in the SNP have broken. But yet again, the details prove that they have no idea how to fix the mess they created. It's so bad that Dr Ian Morrison, the president of the BMA, described his plan by saying, yet again, the rhetoric on this is failing to match our reality. Now, we agree we need to end the ATM rush for a GP appointment. But what is John Swinney's plan? One extra appointment for every GP every fortnight. That's hardly going to end the ATM rush for GP appointments, is it?
First Minister. Well,
that's only one part of the plan that we're taking forward, and I'll come on to that in a second. But before I get to that, let's just look at the issue about temporary accommodation. There's 20 local authority areas, because of the financial support being put in place by the Scottish Government, have reduced the number of children in temporary accommodation. 12 local authorities have reduced the number of households in temporary accommodation in 2023-24. Why is that happening? It's happening because the Government has put financial support in place to make sure that void accommodation can be brought back into use so that families can be accommodated. That's a change in government policy, a change that took place under my leadership. Now, yes, right now, it's all happening right now as we speak, with local authority temporary accommodation levels coming down because of investment in this government, investment that the Labour Party refused to support in the budget. So they shouldn't come here complaining about housing when they wouldn't be prepared to just press a button to vote in favour of £768 million. No wonder I complain about the Labour Party whinging about things. Now, on the issue of GP appointments.
Let's hear one another.
On the issue of GP appointments.
Let's hear one another.
On the issue of GP appointments, there are a number of measures the Government are taking. Yes, we're delivering 100,000 additional appointments for GPs. We're also expanding the Pharmacy First services to reduce pressure and demand on GP services, and we're expanding the availability of allied health practitioners within frontline health services. These measures will deal with the issues that are raised about the ATM rush by reducing pressure on GP services. That's the plan the Government is taking forward. That's what the Government is going to implement.
Anna Sarwar.
Presiding Officer, John Swinney just exposed himself all over again on Tuesday, saying shameful, find something else to moan about homelessness, standing up and apologising for the bad language because that's not how he operates, and now complaining about whinging about homelessness. Shelter Scotland called it a programme for homelessness, and he should wake up and listen to what they have to say. Now, the deadly situation in our NHS caused by the SNP is so vast, but whole areas were omitted from his programme for government. And take just one, our ambulance service. Today, Scottish Labour can reveal shocking new figures that show ambulances are being left queuing up outside hospitals for hours on end, turning car parks into makeshift A&E wards across Scotland. Sick patients getting life-saving treatment in parking bays outside the hospital. At Aberdeen Royal Infirmary, one ambulance was stuck outside for over 15 hours. In Ayr, another waited nearly 15 hours. In Elgin, 12 hours. Car parks turned into A&E wards, corridor care now under malady, 800,000 stuck on waiting lists, and record number of Scots forced to go private. Isn't it the case that the party that created Scotland's NHS crisis can't be the one to fix it?
First Minister.
Presiding Officer, on performance in our hospitals, we obviously face significant challenges remaining in the National Health Service, and I have acknowledged those in all my answers to First Minister's questions. What we find, for example, is on the 4-hour A&E targets that there has been an improvement in performance in the latest data and a strengthening over recent weeks. When we then look at the delivery of pledges on waiting times within our National Health Service, as I indicated in my earlier answer to Mr Finlay, we pledged to carry out 64,000 additional appointments by the end of March 2025, and we didn't do that. We delivered 105,500. And in addition to that, we've put in place investment, again, which the Labour Party couldn't bring itself to support in the budget. And the point I'm making to Parliament is the Labour Party comes here and complains about issues but won't actually do the heavy lifting of supporting the budget to make the investment possible. Can I just point out to the Labour Party, they voted against record investment in the National Health Service of £21 billion, and they then come here to complain to me about different issues. That's the hypocrisy I'm highlighting from the Labour Party today. We've set out that our investment in the NHS will be focused on addressing the priorities of the people. That will be about reducing waiting times, improving access to GP services, and the Government will deliver on those commitments.
Question number 3, Patrick Harvey.